All right, let's talk about something that's pretty much a nightmare scenario for anyone with savings. What happens when a financial company you've trusted with your money just disappears?
I mean, just picture it for a second. You've put your life savings into what looked like a sure thing. Then one morning, you find out the office is shut down, the website's gone, the phones are dead. It feels like it's all over, right? Well, in Telangana, there's a law specifically designed to fight back for you.
And here it is. The Telangana Protection of Depositors of Financial Establishments Act of 1999. It's a mouthful, I know, but its purpose is actually really simple and powerful. It's there to give you a real path to justice.
At its heart, you can think of this law as having two main jobs. First, it's a shield to protect regular depositors like you and me, and second, it lays out a clear, step-by-step roadmap for what to do when a company doesn't pay up. So who exactly is this law aimed at? What counts as a financial establishment? Well, the definition is incredibly broad, and that's on purpose. Basically, if any person or any group of people takes a deposit of money from you, they're on the hook. Now, this is really important to understand. The Act is laser-focused on private outfits that accept deposits. It specifically carves out exceptions for government-owned corporations, co-ops, and your regular banks. Why? Because those guys already have their own set of heavy-duty regulations to answer to. Okay, so the worst has happened. A company defaults. What kicks into gear? Well, the Dodd Act sets off a very specific, rapid response chain of events. Let's walk through it.
It all starts with a complaint, either from a depositor like you, or sometimes the government itself suspects something shady is going on. Right away, the government can issue an order to attach, basically to freeze, all the company's property. Then a special official is put in charge of those assets, and the clock starts ticking. They have only 15 days to get the case in front of a special court.
And this official is called the competent authority. The best way to think of this person is as a kind of financial detective. Their job is to take control of all that frozen property and then build the legal case to make sure those assets can eventually be used to pay back the people who lost their money.
So, the assets are now frozen and our financial detective is on the case. The action then moves from the street to the courtroom. But this isn't just any courtroom, it's a special one set up for exactly this kind of situation.
And this is a total game changer. The Act creates what's known as a special court. Its only job is to hear these financial fraud cases. This is so crucial because it means your case doesn't get buried at the bottom of a pile with thousands of other unrelated legal matters. It gets fast-tracked.
Once the case gets to the court, the first thing that happens is a notice goes out. It basically tells the company, all right, you have to show up and give us a very good reason why this freeze on your assets shouldn't be made permanent. It's their chance to defend themselves. And if the company can't provide a good reason, or their argument just doesn't fly, the court makes that asset freeze permanent. And this is the most important part. The court then oversees the process of selling off those assets and distributing the money fairly among all the people who were cheated.
Okay, getting the money back is one thing, and it's a huge thing. But what about accountability? What about the actual people who ran the scheme? Does the law go after them too?
Oh, you better believe it. This act has some serious teeth. We're not just talking about fines. For any promoter, partner, or director found responsible, they could be looking at up to 10 years in prison. That sends a very, very strong message. And it's not just personal liability. The establishment itself, as a business, can be fined up to 5 lakh rupees. So you see it's a 1-2 punch. Serious jail time for the individuals and the big financial hit for the company. It's all designed to be a massive deterrent. So here's the classic move, right? What if the people running the company see the writing on the wall and quickly sell off all the property or transfer it to a relative's name? Is the money just gone forever?
Nope. The people who wrote this law were one step ahead. Section 8 is a brilliant little clause that allows the court to claw back those assets. If a property was transferred just to hide it and not as part of a legitimate good faith sale, the court can go after that property no matter whose name is on it now.
Okay, we've gone through the whole process, from the initial complaint to the courtroom and the penalties. So let's just zoom out and boil it all down. What are the key things you really need to remember from all this? Here's the bottom line. First, your deposits have serious legal protection in Telangana. Second, there is a dedicated fast-track court just for these cases. Third, the government can move fast to freeze assets before they all disappear. Fourth, even assets that were sneakily transferred away can be recovered. And finally, the punishments for doing this are severe. You know, it's also a surprisingly balanced law. It protects the government officials who are acting in good faith so they can do their job without fear of being sued.
But it also has penalties for people who try to abuse the system by filing a knowingly false complaint. It keeps everyone honest.
So in the end, this act is an incredibly powerful shield for depositors. It's a fantastic safety net. But the real takeaway should be this. While it's great to have a shield, the best defense is always prevention. True financial safety begins with the questions you ask before you ever decide to invest your hard-earned money.